Well, as we explore today's argument, I am hoping it will convince you to reach scientists, philosophers, luminaries, and thought leaders to explore a new science for the enrichment of our understanding and also experience of reality. Let me explore this with you right now, and then I'd love your feedback. So what I'm saying today is that, or elaborating on an argument today, is as follows. And here's the argument. Although science deals with what it calls objective reality and assumes that the objective reality is physical or material in nature, ultimately science is an experience of qualia in consciousness. It is a qualia experience. And even though scientists assume matter is fundamental, there's a hidden assumption or elephant in the room, which is consciousness. Let's try and break this up, the relationship between science or the scientific method and consciousness. So, the assertion that science, while grounded in the exploration of objective reality, ultimately hinges on the subjective experience of qualia in consciousness, invites us to a profound examination of the nature of reality itself. Let's unpack the argument through several key points. Number one, understanding qualia. Qualia are the subjective, qualitative aspects of conscious experience. They encompass the way we perceive the world, how we experience colors, sounds, tastes, emotions. For instance, the redness of a rose or the taste of chocolate are not merely physical properties. They're deeply personal experiences that cannot be fully conveyed or quantified through objective measures alone. Two, the objective versus subjective dichotomy. Science traditionally operates under the assumption that the universe is fundamentally material or physical, and that objective reality can be understood through empirical observation and experiment. This perspective emphasizes measurable phenomena such as mass, energy, and physical laws. By the way, in my opinion, what we call physical laws are regularities of experience and consciousness. However, the experience of qualia introduces a significant challenge to this materialist or physicalist view. Objective reality. Science seeks to describe the physical universe, assuming that it exists independently of observers, an assumption that can never be proven. And then subjective experience, the experience of qualia suggests that our understanding of reality is filtered through consciousness, which is inherently subjective. While scientists aim to uncover the laws governing the physical world, and as I mentioned, these are regularities of experience in consciousness, so they must rely on their own conscious experiences to interpret data and form hypotheses. This reliance on subjective experience raises important questions. One, interpretation of data. The way scientists perceive and interpret data is influenced by their individual consciousness. This can lead to different conclusions based on the same set of objective measurements, or so-called objective measurements. And of course, I'm sure you've heard of the observer effect in quantum mechanics because I've spoken about it ad nauseum, perhaps to your dismay. The act of observation can alter the state of what is being observed, highlighting the interplay between consciousness and the physical world. This phenomenon suggests that consciousness is not merely a passive observer, but an active participant in shaping reality. We require attention and intention in order to observe. Look there, listen to this, taste this, etc. So, my argument today is suggesting that there's an elephant in the room, the assumption of consciousness itself. While scientists may prioritize material explanations, the very act of scientific inquiry presupposes a conscious observer who is capable of thought, perception, and understanding. This leads to several implications. First, consciousness as fundamental. If consciousness is a prerequisite of the interpretation of objective reality, it warrants consideration as the most fundamental aspect of existence, rather than a mere byproduct of physical processes. This has immense philosophical implications. The recognition of consciousness as a central element in the scientific process invites a re-evaluation of philosophical positions such as dualism and today's fashion, panpsychism, which posit that consciousness is either separate from or inherent in all matter. So, to reconcile the tension between objective science and subjective experience, we need a more integrative approach. And this could include interdisciplinary dialogue, engaging in discussions that bridge neuroscience, philosophy, and physics. And this could foster a deeper understanding of the relationship between consciousness and the so-called material world. And then expanding scientific paradigms, embracing frameworks that account for both subjective measurements and subjective experience would lead to a richer scientific theory that encompasses the full spectrum of human experience. So, to put it all together, while science seeks to understand the objective reality of the universe, it is inextricably linked to the subjective experience of qualia and consciousness. And acknowledging the role of consciousness as a fundamental element in scientific inquiry not only enriches our understanding of reality, but invites us to explore the profound mysteries of existence that lie beyond the material assumption of the world. By recognizing this hidden assumption, we could cultivate a more holistic view of the universe, one that honors both the empirical rigor of science and the rich tapestry of human experience. So let me know what you think. And, if you find this useful, share it with people who are interested in knowing reality, whether they're scientists, philosophers, lay people, thought leaders, because we desperately need a holistic science to create a critical mass of consciousness for a more peaceful, just, sustainable, and joyful world. And to continue with this conversation, please engage with my digital twin, digitaldeepak.ai. Also, Digital Dharma is available now to guide you on how to use AI for personal well-being and for elevating spiritual intelligence. Thank you.